What's up, everyone, and welcome to World Building Week 5 with Xizta and Omikins. How's everybody doing? Yeah.
I'm doing okay. I don't know
You,
about the chat.
yeah?
Yeah.
You're doing okay? Just okay?
Oh, just okay.
Just okay. Alright, so, last week, we built, a little jungle area. And by little, I mean very, very little. It's so small. It's the tiniest of jungle areas. Um, yes. So, we've decided that there's this huge volcano on the upper half of this island, and in this volcano, uh, it hasn't been active for quite some time. It's been inactive for a very, very, very long time, and it's actually started a new life inside of it. We haven't determined what is inside there,
It's the wrong file.
but um, but
I'll
yeah,
bring it back up in a
yeah,
second.
yeah. Um, but it's definitely there's definitely some kind of life in there. Oh, you never went back to fill in the trees.
No, I
Um,
didn't. I forgot.
so we did that, and then on top of it, we actually worked on our first creature. That's we kind of went off away from the jungle for a little bit, and we went to the desert. I mean the swamp. We started off with this little swamp creature, based on the style of little monsters that Omi's been drawing on. What is it? Your Instagram?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we started out with this. It's got like this crazy Venus flytrap kind of mouth in the back of it. So we decided that it like walks on its arms and it swings its feet to like injure, stun, it's prey, and then it kind of just falls on it to eat it. Yeah,
Nom nom nom.
and it's got a little pet mouse. He's got some fungi growing all over it. Um, and then from there we started building the adult version, uh, and
Okay.
this is what we came up with here
So far.
so far. So we have not seen the back of him, what the Venus flytrap mouth thing looks like, in his final form, but
His final form.
but yes.
Oh boy.
So the question is, we're gonna take it with chat. What direction do you guys want to work in? Do you guys want to work on some more creatures, or do you guys want us to do more areas on the map and maybe kind of like hone in on that? That's totally up to you guys. Where we're gonna go from that. If we're gonna go creatures, we'll definitely take a lot more input from chat and see what direction uh, you guys have, because this was basically something me and Omi just came up with on the fly last week,
Hmm.
with very very little feedback. I think Viking Witch was here as well. Rachel was here as well, giving some feedback. But I feel like this was a majority of. I even want to say me with your art interpretation. So um, yeah. So I guess we'll see what chat wants to do. In the meantime, I guess you could add on to him a little bit. You
Okay.
want to work on the volcano creature? Red wants to work on the volcano creature. Okay, so we'll get to him. We'll get to the volcano in a little bit. We'll see what's inside there. Um, but I know you had some touching up that you wanted to do on this as well.
Oh God, there's touching up. It's still very rough. It's barely got anything really to it.
Hmm.
Like, it's still in its very basic stages.
Red's loving the pun, the
Yeah.
unintentional pun. I mean, totally, totally intended on the fly. Totally.
And see, I didn't even hear it, so.
Yeah, because it was totally intended.
Oh, there it is. I lost my pen.
I do want to see what the Venus flytrap looks like on this guy, but unfortunately we haven't even finished the front yet, so we can't really get to the back. Um, so I guess in the meantime, if we're gonna go work on some of the life forms that are in the volcano, if you guys in chat want to start throwing some ideas out, we could kind of maybe kind of spring off of that and see what we want. Um, Now, originally we're talking about maybe something like prehistoric theme. It does not have to go that route.
Mm-mm.
It could literally be anything. But what I think it should be is something that is unique to this area because it's such a special location. You don't normally see volcanoes with life inside of them. I think Rachel was mentioning that this is most like Ngoro Crater in World of Warcraft, where you have like a giant crater where life, extinct life, is still living. Um, but I don't know because there's still dinosaurs in a lot of other places in Warcraft, so it's not really
Hmm.
extinct life. But yeah, I mean we can start small. We can create squirrel type creatures, or we can just go full dinosaur sized creatures. Um, but that's up to you guys. So if you guys want to start throwing out some ideas, I know Rachel had some ideas for some mashups for some kind of creatures and stuff like that last week. So feel free, toss out anything you guys want in chat, and we will see. We will see what comes of that.
Hmm. And in the meantime, I'll keep that in stick.
Yeah. So these are just dead twigs and branches and stuff that got caught in him as he was wandering the swamp. Is that?
Roaming about, yeah.
Yeah. So should be a T Rex pterodactyl. Its body is lava infused. Ooh. Oh, and Rachel found the kid's sketchbook. So, Rachel, if you want to scan any of those and throw them into our Discord, the link is down below in both the Twitch and the YouTubes. Um, you guys can submit anything that you want to add to this world, and we will show it on stream the week following the edition of it. So. We will do our best to retrofit. We won't get everything in. We'll get as much as we can that makes sense, but we don't want to like overly flood areas for no reason. And just because it may not work in one area doesn't mean it won't work somewhere else later.
Hmm.
So so it seems red is kind of in line with going a more
Prehistoric.
prehistoric route, and I like that. I definitely like that.
See, my idea was that everything is oversized inside the volcano.
Hmm.
Like you have gargantuan freaking rats and,
Rabbits and
yeah.
well, I do have my idea text pad, so I will open that up right now, and I will start adding some of these ideas because I definitely like the um, the T Rex pterodactyl. That's a really cool idea. Um, Reminds me back like when the Jurassic Park action figures were coming out, and they did some kind of like crazy hybrid series and everybody was thinking, oh, the next movie. This was, I think, right around the time of Jurassic Park 3's release. They started creating their own for like the figure franchise, and I was reading online all these things, and they were talking about how the next route they're gonna go for the movies is like a hybrid approach, and you're gonna start seeing like Tyrann- uh, Tyrannosauruses and Stegosauruses mixed together. So you get like a Tyrannosaurus with all Stegosaurus spikes all over it, and it could swing, its tail like an Ankylosaurus, whatever. It's got the spikes. So, thinking like a tier system inside the volcano, like the main beast lives at the bottom. Really haven't put much thought into it. We were just like, the volcano is there. It's been inactive for a long time. And we just kind of wanted some life. That's really as far as we got with that.
Hmm.
So, um, all of the animals bring food for the main beast that lives below. It very well could be like a tier system like that. So it could be like, you think like the seven layers of hell, You know, it's like the 7 layers of the volcano. You know, each one gets worse and worse as it goes. So it could definitely be something like that.
Really cold.
Okay.
Sorry.
Yeah, because we had said that maybe the inside of the volcano was like overgrown, where you know it had plants and trees and moss and all this kind of stuff inside of it, which I really like. But we did say that it was going to sprout off and have lava caves and different things, and there was going to be a layer, you know, that had lava, uh, the traditional kind of volcano in it. So inside those lava tunnels, the lava caves, we can have um, the lava infused pterodactyls. So lava infused pterodactyl T-Rex hybrid.
God, you guys are really pushing my abilities with this stuff. Oh my gosh. Wow. Like, soon as I saw it in chat, I was like, how am I gonna do that?
I like it. I like it a lot.
I'll figure it out.
Mm-hmm.
That might be like a traditional sketch thing that I import into my computer because I don't think I can. I'm not quite still. I'm still really rusty with digital stuff. So, oh, I am.
We'll
I
get her to
am.
do it digital. Don't worry.
I will. It'll be traditional first. So,
Where'd the bog monster go?
oh,
I looked down. I was typing. I looked back. Bog monster's gone.
we were talking about the volcano, so I was like, okay, I'll switch over.
No, I'm just. I was typing in my text pad. I'm just putting all our ideas out. I'm collecting a bunch of ideas
Yeah.
so we can get a bunch of stuff going, and then we can pick what we're gonna draw. So I figure while we do that, you can finish doodling this guy.
Oh, this guy's gonna take a bit.
Oh, I know.
There's no finishing the doodles.
Oh, sure there is. Oh, sure there is. All right, Rachel's posted 2 of the drawings in the Discord, so we'll pull those up next week for the next episode. We'll have that ready. So anything
I
that gets submit, that gives us some time to get it set up and stuff like
I
that.
did take a little peek-see. I did just
Mm-hmm.
now, and I do have to say those are fantastic.
Yeah. The other thing is that we decided that for the franchise of this, we want to kind of give it a name that doesn't exactly name the world. We were thinking more of the lines of something like, because the way we want to work this is how this world is open for anybody to use to write stories, to base games in, to make tabletop games, play D&D, anything like that. So anybody could use it for that. With that in mind, I really like the concept of how, like, you have Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom, you know, is like the subtitle is like the main thing. So that gives people the freedom, you know, to make each story their own, or each offshoot or whatever their own, is having that little subtitle. So I think having a name, and I'm thinking not necessarily like a character's name, but maybe like a group. You know, like you have in I don't know, Harry Potter, right? What's one of the schools, like one of the groups?
Oh my God. One of the other schools? God, or
No,
you mean like
the
the
subsection.
houses?
Yeah, whatever. I don't.
Hufflepuff, Gryffindor,
So
Slytherin.
you have like Gryffindor and the Temple of Doom. You know, it's like whatever. Like, I'm just saying, we get a name, something like that, and then everybody's got their subtitles. So we got to come up with like the header, you know, the franchise that everybody can use. And once we get that, then I can get the wiki going, and then we could really start pumping out some stuff here. So That's something we're gonna have to collectively kind of come up with, and I think as we get a little more into the world, that kind of once we start naming regions and locations and stuff like that, maybe something like that will spring up. So, Wiki's still gonna be a little bit off, and then when the time comes when we have the name for it and everything, then I think we'll have enough content and everything will just start steamrolling from there. So just keep that in your mind, and if something comes up, post in our Discord, post in chat, whatever comes to mind. We'll be thinking too. So.
Oh, I've been thinking.
Mm.
It's probably not the best thing, but
I knew I smelled something burning.
knew that was coming.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. The mosquito bat. Yeah. I definitely I've seen Rachel showed me a few of these sketches previously just on webcam. She was holding them up and they looked fantastic. So uh, yeah, that's gonna be good. So I'm gonna try to play around with chat a little bit to make it look. This is the first time I've used the overlay of chat.
Hmm. It does look a little rough, especially if I get into more solid colors, it might be better, but since it's against the
Yeah, I'm
wall.
gonna I'm gonna mess with this a little bit. So give me a second, guys. I'm gonna go lighter on that, and then maybe. No, that's way bad. Let's see. Nope. I'm gonna have to play around with these colors a little bit. Get something that works.
Yeah.
That actually that actually looks pretty good.
Mm.
So is it gonna have a brown eyeball? I'm assuming for mud colors, or is it gonna have
It
like a?
doesn't. No, it can have like an amber, like so, like a yellow or gold or something, just something so that it pops against, like
It's
it
an actual
contrasts.
piece of amber lodged in its.
Oh my God, that'd be so freaking cool. Yeah, let's do that. Let's do that. I'm so for that right now.
Yep.
I don't know what I'm doing here. Like, I want it to be mossy, but I know that's the wrong color for moss. But then again,
Moss is a lot of different colors.
this is true.
There's red moss, there's brown moss, there's yellow moss, there's green moss. I'm sure somewhere there's blue moss, like these things exist out in the world, so.
And they can also just exist in our world. It's not a big deal.
Mm-hmm. It's true. It is true. So, any more ideas for the volcano, guys? So far, the only thing we have is the lava-infused pterodactyl T-Rex hybrid thing. I definitely like the fact that there may be multiple layers and stuff to it, and it could give it kind of like a journey to the center of the earth kind of feel to it,
Hmm.
you know?
Yeah, that's really cool.
Yep. It is a jungle. It doesn't have to be a jungle through the whole thing, you know? Just because maybe the top layer is all overgrown and stuff like that, as you get deep into it, that doesn't mean there can't be a rocky area. The whole volcano can have its own, like, habitat of array of locations as well.
There's actually a particular monster that I've been saving. Um, I'm actually waiting for Red to do his Photoshop um stream so I could,
Mm.
yeah.
Mm.
But I think I can show it. Um, this could fall in line with there being like a geological, like rocky area within words, Nicole. Within the volcano. Actually have to. It's right here. Fire beetles, beetles on fire. Yeah, we could do that. That is something. I just gotta go through my finished sketchbook. I should actually put like post-it note dog ears in here for stuff that I've come up with.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Phantasmagorical endangerment volcano calling.
That is
I'm not even sure
Pokemon.
what that entails.
So many Pokemons. Where is it? Maybe it's in my other one.
So the piece of amber that's going to be in this guy's eye here.
Yeah.
Um, is that like something that can be unlodged? And if it's unlodged, does it defeat him?
I, I mean, it could. I mean, I wouldn't want to give him that easy of. I don't know. I feel like he's a somber giant that's just misunderstood kind of thing.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So like I don't want him to be easily defeated. Like you take the amber eye out, he just plush into a big puddle of grossness. I don't want that for him. I feel like he's lovey-dovey and he would give you a hug if he didn't smother you in grossness. So it's very cartoony, of course, but like I don't know if you can see it. Like I can't tell if I'm showing it correctly.
Yeah.
So he's rocky. He's got some like gemmy geodes at the top. He's got like I don't know why he has a hole in his like for his.
Because he's Captain Planet.
I don't know, but there's another dude right there. But I was like I don't I have to redesign him. But
Mm-hmm. Yeah. See, in red, this volcano. If you go back to the main map for a minute, um, and if you look, this whole like little this is a little island chain. Like in comparison to what the world is, we've decided that this is fairly small.
mhm.
Um, so think those islands are maybe including the like sideways poodle thing. That yeah, I waited till you took a sip for that. That this might actually be maybe like the maybe just under the poodle is probably about the size of Hawaii. We want to say. Um, so in the grand scale, this is the small like this is a very small section of the world. So oh, I like that. I like
So
that.
it's like a seed instead of a gem.
Kinda, yeah.
That would be cool. Like blooms into make it like a legendary creature, and the tree is kind of like a life tree or something. I don't even know. That is just like blowing my mind. I love that idea.
So Amber Eye plants itself to the ground and grows a. I'm gonna leave it ambiguous that it's a tree right now because we don't know if we want to do something more with that.
Hmm.
Like tree sounds really awesome, um, but maybe it does something a little different than a tree, and that's something as we get into what is actually in the swamp and what the swamp does and all that stuff. That then we can go back and define what that is. But I really like that concept. So um, yeah, so I have and grows a tree. So
Okay.
But
My
yeah,
hands are
so
still really
so this
cold.
world is this is really small, and then if Omi zooms way 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 out, that's that is not even the full like world map necessarily. Like
No,
that is
we could
just
extend it either way too, so.
yeah. This can go on forever. See, I was kind of thinking like um in terms of if this was an adventure game, that maybe the world in the regions that are not explored right now are covered in like a mysterious kind of like black fog, like shadowy kind of fog. Think
Mhm.
of I don't know, something like Kingdom Hearts or something, I don't know, that's got like this weird fog thing about it. And then as certain things are done in areas that the fog extends, and that's our excuse for the world expanding, maybe. I don't know. I'm thinking of this as right now in terms of us building it, but the story isn't necessarily starting here and unfolding. We're just kind of building it right now, so it's just ideas that are flowing right now.
Mhm.
Um, but maybe that's a story for the outskirts. Once we decided this is the brunt of our area, this is the majority of it, and then as we keep going, then we can expand like an actual story. Fog of War like StarCraft. I've actually never played StarCraft, so um,
Okay, I've seen it played a lot. Yeah, Fog of War would work definitely.
okay. So
Of
yeah,
course, give it a different name, but yes,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah,
I the concept is exactly what you're
yeah. And
talking
then we
about.
could find out, oh, some kind of crazy creature or entity, covered these areas for a reason, and I don't know. There's all kinds of crazy stuff we could come up with for
Mhm.
that. Um, but yeah. So in terms of that, we had the bog monster, we had fire beetle.
A beetle literally made out of fire.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Yes.
So these are all things that are going to be in like the lower levels of
Hmm.
the volcano in the cave. We don't have any creatures that are going to be in the grassy kind of area of the
Like the
volcano.
outskirts, yeah,
Yeah.
so far.
So
I mean, do we want to put another race of living things into the forest? Like
you
we
mean
got
like
the
that live in the volcano or
or
in the
on
forest itself?
either or.
I'm thinking almost to leave um, like humanoid creatures out of the volcano. That way, it could be like an adventure place to go explore for a particular reason.
Okay.
Um, be it like an adventure game or D&D or something like that. Like there would be a reason to go in there, and not have it be so, or even on the top layer. That maybe there is something in there. But I'm thinking by not having anything in there that it's more of the unknown, it's uncharted territory, kind of thing. Um, so I kind of like the fact that nothing is mapped out about it. That is all uncharted territory. So I don't know. Let's just take two creatures, two animals that we know of, and fuse them together, and see what we come up with.
Animal fusion's awesome. Let's do this.
Yes, let's do an animal fusion. So like, I'm not saying to do this, but off the top of my head, fuse like an elephant and an anteater. Like
Okay.
just
I mean, I do have something. I did show you the boar that I drew,
mhm.
right? With the anteater and like the horns and everything.
Red mentions spider coons. I'm assuming that's a cross between spiders and raccoons. Um, and if that's the case, then that would be really cool. They were able to traverse around the borders of the volcano via the webbing. Um,
And they're
I,
kleptos.
I really actually like that because they could be in like the rockier areas of the volcano, like away from the grassy area, and it's like maybe between the rocky area and the volcanic area. Like they live somewhere in between there. Um, catching anything that falls into their webs.
Sorry, you see me squirming because all I think of is Shelob from the Lord of the Rings, and it's
Oh
just
yeah,
I can't.
I like spider
Oh,
coons. I'm writing them down for sure.
okay. I'm just in my head. I'm giving them more of a raccoon appearance just to save my sanity.
Um, they hoard treasure. And
I kind of want to design our own take on like kobolds or gnolls.
yeah,
Because I always see kobolds like
yeah,
in
kobolds are definitely
cave
not.
dwellers.
Yeah, they're just like a fantasy staple. Like they're
Hmm.
everywhere.
Well, everyone has their different take on them, but I don't think we'd call them kobolds because that'd be silly. But I
Mm,
mean, there's always gremlins and goblins.
yeah.
Um,
Well, like, and that was the other thing. I wanted to stay clear of kind of like the traditional um, races, like the things that
yeah,
you
I
see, like
understand.
orcs and goblins and elves and stuff like that. I want to kind of stay away from them as long as possible. Like, I'm not saying not to have them here, but I'm saying let's do our own thing and then maybe incorporate them in where they could work. And if we are going to incorporate them, maybe even give them a big spin, like something that you don't normally think about or associate with them, you
Yeah,
know.
that's exactly where I was going with them. Like, completely almost just take like the concept of a kobold, but just redesign it completely to make it your own.
So Red's saying that maybe like the cobalt could be like a ferret, like the ferret holes and stuff.
Ferrets are so
They
cute.
are. So we could make ferret kobold type creatures that aren't called kobolds necessarily, like,
Hmm.
but in that style.
A rabbit ferret, a longish body with the ears, and instead of a little dipsy tail.
No, I
Hmm.
like the tail. The tail's got to stay on the ferret. We can't give the ferret a bunny tail. There's no way.
Now I was thinking instead of just like a straight sleek teal, a
And
tail.
and if we are doing a ferret, we have to name it Murr after Murray from Impractical Jokers because everybody says he
What?
looks like a ferret. So one of the ferrets, uh, the ferret creatures would have to be called Murr. It has to be.
Okay. So, I mean, it is a species, but there's one token ferret rabbit thing that is an actual like NPC kind of deal that kind of
It could
packs
just
around
be.
with
It could just
somebody.
be like somebody stumbles along one and it stays with them and follows them and they nickname it Murr. Something like
That's
that.
what I
It
mean.
doesn't. It's not like, oh, it walks and talks and no, doesn't have to do that.
Because your heads went straight to Myrrh, and my head went straight to Cyrano, the ferret from Starship Troopers.
Mm-hmm.
The one that the psychic guy makes him attack his mom and think there's grubs on her leg and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
From the very beginning of the movie. You don't see Cyrano anywhere else in the movie except from like the very beginning when you first meet that character. So,
Yep.
but yeah, that's one of my favorite movies. So,
Yep.
I hear a cat.
Yeah.
So, okay, I'm sitting here like staring at the volcano. Am I
Yeah.
doing anything? Am I just gonna go and color in some trees just to make us look like we're doing something?
I
Or
thought
am I gonna work on
I
this
thought you were
dude's
working
more?
on the bog monster this whole time.
And you're like, show him the map. And I'm like, all
Oh
right,
yeah,
all
yeah.
right, all right. I'll show the map. And then we got talking and
Yeah, no, I'm just
such.
coming up with some ideas for some stuff. We get the spider coons, fire beetle, bog monster, and then I like those ferrets in the style of kobolds. So they're gonna kind of take that.
That kind of looks like he's got turds on his head. Mm, must fix.
So a
Must
kobold,
fix.
kobold is a sprite stemming from Germanic mythology and surviving into modern times in German folklore. Although usually invisible, a kobold can materialize in the form of an animal, fire, a human being, and a candle. The most common depictions of kobolds show them as human like figures the size of small children. Kobolds who live in human homes wear the clothing of peasants. Those who live in mines are hunched and ugly, and kobolds who live on ships smoke pipes and wear sailor clothing. Legends tell of three major types of kobolds. Most commonly, the creatures are house spirits, ambient nature, where they sometimes perform domestic chores. They play malicious tricks if insulted or neglected. And famous kobolds of this type include King Goldemar, Heinzelmann, and Hod- Hodikin? Hadouken? I don't know.
Hadouken.
Hadouken. Um,
No, not that.
um, in some regions, kobolds are known by local names such as Galgenmanlen of southern Germany. I'm butchering German, by the way.
Hmm.
And Heinzelmachen of Cologne.
Cologne, yes, that's correct.
I got that one right.
You got that one right.
Another type of kobold haunts underground places such as mines. A third kind of kobold, the Klaburtman, the Klabuterman, lives aboard ships and helps sailors. Um, Kobolds' beliefs are evidence of survival of pagan customs after Christianity of Germany. Belief in kobolds dates back to at least the 13th century. Kobolds' belief mirror legends of similar creatures in other regions of Europe, and scholars have argued that the names of creatures such as goblins and kabouters derive from the same root as the kobold. They may include a common origin of these creatures or may represent cultural borrowings and influences of European people amongst each other. Similarly, subterranean kobolds may share their origin with creatures such as gnomes and dwarves, and the aquatic Kalabutermen with similar water spirits. The name of the element cobalt comes from the creature's name because medieval miners blame the sprite for the poisonous and troublesome nature of the typical arsenic ores of this metal, cobaltite and smaltite, which polluted other mined elements. So that's kind of like the origin of the actual
Mm.
kobolds, and they also say that they share a lot of similarities with English hobgoblins and pixies. So that's kind of that. So they can materialize in the form of an animal. So our kobolds can literally be ferrets. So
That is, yeah. So we're kind of going like with cute kobolds instead of like the kind that we typically see.
mm-hmm.
I mean, it sounded like the some of the ones that you were mentioning are ugh. That's the only way I can explain it is ugh,
Ugh.
ugh. Why is that piece not blending right there? Mm.
Red said there's a turd on his head.
Yeah, that's what I said earlier. He's
Mm.
just, he's agreeing with me. I mean, I don't know how to make mud. Why is
Yeah,
it?
well the whole thing's gonna look like that. So that one thing is gonna kind of blend in more when you see the rest of it
Mm-hmm.
starts taking that form. But yeah.
Feeling it's because of the Slayer. No, it literally just doesn't want to blend.
Fair enough.
Oh, you jike.
Look what you did, you little joik. So yeah, I like that because they could be miners and stuff, and the ferrets do dig ferret holes. today on world building. Dom Rex the German language. Pretty much. Pretty
Pretty
much.
much. That sounds. Dom wrecks a lot of things.
I come in like a wrecking ball.
I knew that was coming. Oh my goodness.
Mhm.
No, it's like, we just learned something, guys and girls.
Yeah, that I can't speak German.
There's that, and that we learned about kobolds.
Yeah, so I definitely like that idea. That the ferrets are gonna be kobolds. Um,
I think I'm gonna work on his eye a little bit.
uh, Medieval European miners believed in underground spirits. The kobold filled this role in German folklore and is similar to other creatures of this type, such as the English blue cap, the Cornish knocker, and the Welsh cobblenois. Stories of subterranean kobolds were common in Germany by the 16th century. Superstitious miners believed the creatures to be expert miners and metal workers who could be heard constantly drilling, hammering, and shoveling. Some stories claim that the kobolds live in the rock, just as human beings live in the air. Huh. Legends often paint underground kobolds as evil creatures. In medieval mining towns, people prayed for protection from them. They were blamed for the accidents, cave-ins, and rock slides that plagued human miners. That actually could be interesting. That they were the one that dug out all the subterranean caverns of the volcano and caused landslides and different things in certain areas, cave-ins and whatnot,
Mm-hmm.
like that. Um, for example, let's see.
I'm running out of space
One
on my color board here.
One favorite kobold prank was to fool miners into taking worthless ore. For example, 16th century miners sometimes encountered what looked to be rich veins of copper or silver, but which, when smelted, proved to be little more than a pollutant and could even be poisonous. These ores caused a burning sensation to those who handled them. Miners tried
Mm-hmm.
to appease the kobolds with offerings of gold and silver, and insisting that fellow miners treat them respectfully. Nevertheless, some stories claim that kobolds only returned such kindness with more poisonous ores. Miners called these ores cobalt, after the creatures for whom they were thought to come. Uh, in 1735, Swedish chemist Gordon Brandt isolated a substance from such ores and named it cobalt rex.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
In 1780, scientists showed that this was in fact a new element, which they named cobalt. Kobolds are sometimes portrayed as indifferent to human miners as long as they are left alone. In these depictions, they are content to simply mine ore themselves, collect it, and haul it away by windlass. Windlass is one of those kind of crazy pulley systems.
Okay.
So, yeah, that's definitely we could definitely go off that route, more of the mine thing. Um, so yeah. So I'm gonna look up some stuff about ferrets and see what we could incorporate into the two. Ferrets belong to the same family as weasels. Typically have brown or I really like that eye. They have brown, black, white, or mixed fur. So ferrets are sexually dimorphic predators, with males being substantially larger than females. So that means the males are very, very, very different looking than the females.
Okay.
Um, Black-footed ferret is on the endangered species list.
Mhm.
Used for hunting rabbits in some part of the world, but increasingly are only kept as pets.
I don't think Dom wants those in his in this world. Oh goodness. I don't want them.
Mm. Oh, Red sketch up some stuff with the spider coon
Oh my God, I can't wait to see him.
in Discord, and
Ah!
and Rachel's put some stuff. So next week we will show you guys what these look like on camera. If you cannot wait till next week to see these things, make sure to go down below and join the Discord, um,
Hmm.
and join along with us. But yeah, those look really cool. I like those red. I like those a lot. Um, Ferrets are weird.
My cousin had a ferret and they took really good care of it, but um when they went away on holidays, they had a friend take care of it and I went over there one day and their house stank so
Oh yeah,
bad. Ferrets, you have to keep clean, otherwise they are just the grossest.
yeah. My friend Chris, his sister used to have pet ferrets, and she was constantly changing that cage, constantly,
Hmm.
and sometimes it was like twice a day, depending on how terrible the ferrets were.
The thing is, though, like you can kitty litter train ferrets,
Hmm.
so you can treat them the same as you would a cat, and it that's how my cousin did it, and they were really, really clean.
Yeah, apparently ferrets are banned in Washington D.C. and New York.
They are, and I know somebody who has one in New York, and I am so tempted. I don't like them. I don't like them. But Nikki, that's not a nice thing to do. You're Canadian.
Yeah,
Let's not get into that. I need more of an orange.
you had a ferret and it stole keys and pens. Yeah. Oh, I definitely see them doing that.
Oh yeah. Like his ferret had a treasure hoard. It was adorable.
Yeah, and then you get like all those like crazy gerbil tunnel things that they crawl through, and you can. They even had like a giant hamster size like the plastic ball for the ferret to run around in. It's crazy, absolutely crazy.
I don't want it to go too yellow, the amber eye, because if we want to keep it like seed-like, I don't know. And like there are certain things that I have never drawn before, and gems of this sort are definitely one of them. So bear with me, please.
I think it looks fantastic. It almost has like a honeycomb kind of aspect to it in the middle there.
Yeah, a little bit, I guess.
I mean, you could even put the seed in the amber in the middle to give it like the pupil.
Right here.
Yeah,
That'd be neat.
like encased in the amber. It's good. Think of it like Jurassic Park, where you have the mosquito in the middle. Dino
Hmm.
DNA.
Oh God.
Well, hello, John.
Hello, John.
Hello, John.
Oh my goodness, that
I'm so
movie.
happy that Mr. DNA made it into Jurassic World. Nothing made me happier than to see him in there. Tiny, tiny cameo.
Oh my goodness. Do you remember House Hippos? Do you remember the commercial for House Hippos?
No?
Oh my God.
What are house hippos?
You have to look it up.
I'm in the middle of doing that. Apparently, house hippos is a Canadian thing.
I guess it is.
The house hippo is the subject of a Canadian television public service announcement sponsored by the Concerned Children's Advertisers. So, no, I do not remember house hippos because I'm not Canadian.
House Hippos are the best.
Yeah, the house hippo pushing a piece of paper.
No, they're really tiny. They're like mouse size, Sev. Or Viking witch, a Viking.
Yes. What?
I just thought that'd be an interesting, like, miniaturize something that we have that's huge into something really tiny.
So, are you telling me now that you want to go the opposite way of what you were thinking with the volcano? And instead of
There's
having things
there's
that are
a
really big, everything is really tiny inside
we
there?
have a lot of world to work with here. Doesn't have to be in the volcano. I'm just saying.
These house
That's
hippos
an
are
idea.
ridiculous.
They're so
I'm watching it
cute.
like embedding inside like the closet. And it's got a baby. And then all of a sudden it's on the TV. It just like turned from walking across the closet floor to walking in the grass of a television show. The What is wrong with Canada?
Nothing. We're incredibly intelligent people.
Mm.
Oh my goodness.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
You get mini T. Rachel says mini T Rex. You get like a mini um, Velociraptor that is like the size of compies.
Oh.
You know, like in Jurassic Park 2, those little lizard dinosaurs that attacked the girl that it was eating her sandwich. Imagine
Hmm.
velociraptors that are that size that are lashing at you with their claws. That'd be super creepy. Hunting in packs like that. So that's a seed inside of its eyeball.
Hmm.
So now is this gonna be like an anomaly creature? Like it just so happens like um there's one of it, or is this gonna be a whole species that lives out there?
I feel like if it that it should be an anomaly.
So he's big and important.
He is big and he is important.
Okay.
He starts out little and adorable with a pet mouse.
And then by the end of it, it turns into like a pet cougar.
I wouldn't say that it's a cougar.
No,
You're making it.
I'm saying the thing gets so big that the cougar is equivalent to the size of the mouse
Oh,
in proportion.
so.
I'm kidding.
Oh.
I'm kidding.
Oh.
It was a joke. That it has this massive cougar just sitting on it. When oh, I really like that. Oh, that looks so good.
I mean, I'm not
Zoom in on
even.
that eye again. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, that's fantastic.
I'm not even done with it yet.
It looks so good. I love that.
Oh, I need a drink. Momento. Okay.
So now, does he still have like mushrooms and stuff on the side? Because I didn't see
Yeah,
any in
I haven't even
your
drawn
sketch
those
work.
in yet.
Right.
Um, it I feel like they'd be along the arms, so I haven't added them in yet, obviously.
Hmm.
His whole body color is wrong. He's not gonna be pink.
Mm.
So, I mean, that's just my sketch color. That's the color I like to work with, so because I have a bazillion like these kind of colored sketch pencils and they look more pleasing to my eye when
Hmm.
I'm sketching, so
Yeah, no, that came out really good. I like that. Even though you said it's not done, I
it's
still
not
really like it.
it's not done. It's not done. I have to check the color. It's got to be shiny.
Does it? Does it have to be?
Mm-hmm. It's amber. Amber shines.
Hello, Chrissy Bell.
Hey, Chrissy.
Yeah, I'm really liking it. Yeah, so I kind of like the idea that this is more of a one-off creature. Could be used as a big focal point for an adventure game. Could be
Story.
used as a
Yeah.
big focal point for like a D&D campaign or even um, a run-in in a story of some sort. Like that seed that's in there could be like a seed from an extinct plant of some sort.
Like a cure-all that people need
Yeah,
or
it's the MacGuffin of the story. It could basically serve any purpose that you need it to, kind of deal.
you could put whatever magical property you want to it.
When created, twins are formed, one male, one female, birds or bees, just like how pollination takes place. The seeds are separated, and when they grow, and then they grow, wandering the lands for years to find their other half. Once they met, a bond is formed, and they merge into one. Only once a place is so devoid of life can this creature be allowed to die and be reborn. I like that. I like that a lot. I will copy pasta that into the notes section. Because I was just about to say, if this is something that is an anomaly, something that was created, that it had to have been created by someone, and
Hmm.
someone in charge it like that. So yeah, it could be definitely something like that where twins are formed. So this thing may be exclusive to the swamp, and its twin counterpart ended up in the volcano, for example. Um, the one in the volcano can be more of a rock formation because maybe it started as mud, and like this one, it's living in the swamp, so it's staying wet. You know, it's all that. It's got the twigs and the sticks in it. Its counterpart could be in the volcano and be more rock, and oh, the twins form this creature that we see now. Okay, yeah, we could do that too. So we have the smaller versions do that, and we could have multiple variations of this. Like you're saying that if we have the twins that are created, they can be sprinkled throughout the world. So this may be not the only case that we see of this type of creature, but it's the only one in this area, and they would be scarce. They would be very scarce. So we may see one here. Maybe one ended up in the volcano. Maybe there's one in the desert. Um, Maybe there's one in some Arctic region that we haven't created yet. But yeah, I definitely like that concept. And then the twins could look like the little creatures that Omi drew before. That's what they look like. This one, yeah. They look like this, and then when they merge, they turn into to this. Yeah, definitely like that idea. Oh, I love that amber eye. I love how that came to be. Rachel says, "Okay, I keep looking at them, and for some reason, I feel they would stink, but only to others. But their smell attracts their own.
See
Maybe."
that?
I can't wait until you turn this thing around and we do that Venus flytrap.
Oh no.
You keep forgetting about that, and I'm gonna keep reminding you about it.
Oh God. Terrible. I don't want to.
Um, yeah, so we're probably gonna end up wrapping this up shortly. Um, so I think what we can do is so we could start moving on to some other stuff because we don't want to get locked up on the same creature for a while too.
No.
Is that if Omi wants to continue working on this off camera over the course of the next couple days or something like that, what she could do is record it, and we could do a time lapse kind of
That'd
thing, and
be
then we
interesting.
could
Oh
post that as
boy.
like a bonus video or something like that.
I never even thought of that.
Yep.
That
So
is a
that
great
way,
idea.
yeah. So that way you guys don't miss how she drew it and how it formed, and you guys can watch that process. Because to me, that this part is one of the most fascinating things, is seeing it come to life like this. Um, the only aspect of that is the way that this kind of came to be with the amber and the seed and all that. We may lose that on the fly creative process. Um, but I like maybe once we get the backstory and we get like something cool like that, that the rest of the details get filled in afterwards. So like we got this part, the amber eye, the seed, the whole backstory. We've locked that down, so now Omi can kind of go free reign from there, and do that. So definitely really liking that. I think we need to zoom out and see the
What it
whole
looks
thing again.
like.
Yeah.
That is 100%. This is
Yeah.
what the finished picture will be at, like the size. So it just, whew, it sparkles.
Yeah, it's fantastic. Love it. Absolutely love it. So I think that's gonna about wrap it up for this week. Um, so I think that's probably something that Omi could do. I don't want to say definitely we'll have it ready for next week, but it's something that she could probably start working on anyway.
Mhm.
When it is finished, we'll do the time lapse on it. Next week, I think maybe we'll focus on creating some of those kobold weasel creatures, and maybe sketch out some rough drafts of either the fire beetles or the what was the other thing? Red already has the spider coons. There was something else we talked about. I thought there was anyway.
Uh, the T-Rex pterodactyl thingy with infused lava. That
Yes.
seems like another big project, kind of like this one.
Yeah. Oh yeah. There. It's way up at the top. I moved it. I put that up with the volcano instead of in the bestiary section. So I'm gonna move
Okay.
him down to the bestiary section. Um, that's why I couldn't see him. Yeah. So maybe next week we'll work on the ferrets and the fire beetles and see what that's going on, and then we'll show off everything that was submitted, and then maybe kind of come up. If you guys are in the Discord, then you maybe come up with maybe some names or some backstory for some of the creatures that are in there,
Yeah.
and then we can kind of share that and keep thinking of a name. Like I said, like a title. Like I really like how
Yeah,
it's just like Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom. You know, like that. It just
yeah.
because then you could do Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade, Indiana Jones and the Infernal Machine. One of the video games spin off, and that way everybody's got their own side story. So you
Hmm.
could always make. You're writing a book. You're doing whatever. You're making a game, and each game has chapters in it, and each chapter would have and the bog monster, whatever. So we need what the Indiana Jones. That's the thing that we need. So like I said, I'm thinking more of like a name for a group rather than the name of a person. Because if we do the name of a person, if you take Indiana Jones for example, then everybody's game or everybody's story has to revolve around Indiana Jones, and I don't like that. If we name it after a group, it leaves more flexibility. Um, but even if you come up with a word, like you look at some of the biggest franchises that are out there for games and stories and stuff today, and you get like a game like Uncharted, right? That's just a word, but it's a gaming franchise now, you know. So, um,
Yeah,
Red,
we need something to uh, basically start the wiki off with, and that being a name just so we can build off of it.
yeah, yeah. Red's suggesting phantasmal endangerment, um,
Phantasmorical.
phantasmorical endangerment.
It's
Um,
a word I cannot say.
yeah, me either apparently. And that seems
Like,
more like a subtitle than like the overarching title. The
yeah,
overarching title seems like it'd be more simple. Like I said, Indiana Jones or Uncharted. You could do, and you look at it like Tomb Raider, Tomb Raider and the Cradle of Life, like it's just they all have that kind of like subtitle that you could put under. So just any kind of overarching name that's vague enough to really work. Like at this point, I wish
Like,
Uncharted wasn't taken because that would be awesome. But
yeah.
you know,
Even the Travelers and,
yeah,
kind of like you have like there's a TV show, The Librarians, and then obviously every episode has their subtitle, right? So,
yeah, and the Curse of the Werewolf, and
mhm.
yeah, it's like anything like that. So think of a big important kind of name that's very easy to say, rolls off the tongue, short, simple, to the point. And then you can make the subtitles really long for each individual story, or game patch, or chapter of a book, or D&D campaign. Anything like that.
Mhm.
So yeah. Until next week, guys. Make sure once again join us down below in the Discord. Watch us live on Twitch, twitch.tv/xizta Xizta. Um, and yeah.
I mean, there are our Twitters will be down below. We can tweet at us too. So there's a lot of ways to get a hold of us.
Hmm.
Spread your ideas, share them.
See you guys later.